Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Parang from Havenspire, and today I'm going to be breaking down today's Sniper Shots trades, and I hope you learned from them. So there were about 4 trades that we took today, and again, the market was kind of still very, very choppy, but yes, there were some individual stocks which were very hot because of a lot of factors. Let's discuss them, and I hope you learn something from it. Thank you. So this is what we were actually looking at. So around 10:40 a.m. So I avoided trading for the first hour of the day, and that is something that I kind of follow if I don't see a clear directional market. So yes, Nifty gapped up, but then it kind of moved nicely on the upside, but then it consolidated and then it kind of made a range. So the first few stocks that I was actually watching out. The first one was IRCTC. So on the 5 minute, I was looking a pullback to the VWAP for day high, and then we're looking to scalp this. I'll show you the chart and I'll show you what's the rationale to keep this in the watch list. Amaraja batteries in the 5 minute time frame. I was wanting it to trade above the previous day range and the previous day high, consolidating around the VWAP. So that's where was a area of interest for me, and I was looking for 782, 783 plus for longs. So this trade actually got triggered towards the end of the day, but we were kind of waiting for this all throughout the day. Then Cummins India, a VWAP push 842 to 844, strong supply absorption that I was spotting. So there was a lot of supply that was being absorbed. And then a range or a base break for long is what we were looking at. And then Bandhan Bank, again, above 326 plus for longs. This, I think, did not get triggered. The entry conditions didn't get triggered. So Cummins India right off the bat. So this is the place that we were looking at. So let me show you in the bigger chart. But this is the range break that we wanted to trade. So this entire region is what we wanted to trade. And we saw a good push up from Cummins India right after that. So this is the area. This is the consolidation that I was talking about. So there was this accumulation, small set of accumulation on an intraday basis happening over here. And then this was the supply absorption that I observed. So this is, you can see high volumes, but then price was not reacting to it. And then a big spike up. So this was the first trade that we took. And let me show you on the charts how this looked like. So if I open up Cummins India, this is kind of the place that you're looking at to trade. So if you look at this, there was this kind of consolidation happening with lesser and lesser volume. So this is the place where I was understanding that supply was getting absorbed here, and then what happens is the stock just pushes up. So it moved up nice from 842 levels all the way to 850. So it made a high of around 850, and then if you whoever traded here at this break now. When you wait for this break, it's very difficult to get executed. But even if you execute at the market here, 843 is where you will enter, and about a ₹4 stop. And then it pushed up, but then it failed to actually move up higher. So this was kind of a 1:1 or a break-even trade, although it moved up higher. But you need to keep into mind that once you're trading this, you need to at least have a stop loss below this kind of below this range. Now, since the market was kind of getting weak on and off in the entire day, this did not have a continuation. And you can see it just came back, got rejected around this area of supply, came back down to this area where it started from, and then just held on to the range. So this is something that for a scalp went very well, but then after that it kind of did not give the move that was required. But still, even if you entered this trade, this is not a losing trade for you. This was either a 1:1, 1:1.5 trade, or just a break-even trade. So that's perfectly fine. The next thing that I was watching was MGL. So this is Mahanagar Gas. So this is where 1122 is where I triggered the long position for Mahanagar Gas. And the price was around 1244. 1238 was the SL, so ₹6 of stop loss. And this is what happened after that. So this is the precise place where we entered. So this is the place where we entered, and I'll show you it in the bigger chart. And then we immediately saw a very big push happening, and it moved quite nicely with a spike in volume. And this is the place where we booked half, so around 1260. So after gaining around 16 points, after risking 6 points, which is around 1:3, I asked people to take off half of their positions, and This is where we took off half of their positions, 50 to 60%, taking some profits off the table. And the reason for taking profits around this area was that the market was kind of extended, and I knew that because this is pushing higher, yes, this has potential to go higher, but you never know when supply is going to kick in. And there were some areas where the stock had struggled in the past. So I wanted to be cautious because Nifty was trading at very high levels, and we were not seeing a lot of strength in the broader markets. So, and then what we see is it jumps off to 1262, 63 levels. And this is where we were trailing 25% of the positions. And now our trailing stop loss is 1256. So we have locked in like more than 1:2 or 10 points in the trade. And we're now trailing this. Then we're trailing 1258. So we are, just protecting our profits now. It's moving really nicely. And this is the final push that it actually made around 12 p.m. So around 30 minutes, and we got a good 1:3, 1:4, 1:2, 1:3 risk reward. And then this is the place where I booked all my profits, and I was out of the remaining 25% position that we had, so around 1270. So we captured around 25 points by risking six, around 1:3 risk reward. So that was a good, decent trade. So MGL, if we look at what's happening here, so what you can see is that MGL was actually breaking out of this range. So if you can see, this MGL was kind of making this range, and it was just sustaining. So this is the supply absorption here. This is again supply which was introduced. So this is kind of a shakeout, supply getting introduced into the market, and then the stock was just sustaining here. And this is the place where I got interested, because I think this is where all the liquidity was grabbed. The supply was kind of out from the market, and then I was confident that this could shoot up. So this is the place where we entered somewhere around 1242. After these two candles, this big break and closing around this area was where I got interested. So if you want to look at the trade right here, so this is somewhere around where we entered, and 1238 was the stop loss. So somewhere around this was the stop, and we kind of booked some around here, and the final exit was somewhere around 1272 levels. So if you look at it in absolute terms, the risk reward is somewhere around 6.8. But again, this is not practical enough. So if you look at it, the first exit that we took was somewhere around here, where we got around somewhere between 1254, 55 levels. Then the next exit was somewhere around here, 1262 levels, and the last exit was here. So we were constantly scaling out of the position. So this was the trade. This was the trade idea, and this was a very good trade. So this trade alone would have just made your day. So this was the second trade of the day. The third is Tata Consumer. So now Tata Consumer is something which came to my attention, because I was seeing a lot of FMCG stocks doing well. Godrej Consumer Product was also doing well, and there were a bunch of other FMCG stocks which are doing decently well. So I was expecting like some spike in Tata Consumer. So let's have a look at what Tata Consumer was doing. Although this trade did not really work out as expected, it gave you an exit somewhere around. It never hit the stop, but yeah, towards the end of the day, like this is where most of people exited. So around 1 rupee of loss. So not something very big. So this is what I was watching. And that's the reason to go long. So I was seeing that there was a lot of range bound action around here, and then slowly I was seeing some higher lows being built up. So around this area, I felt that the stock has a potential to move back up, because it was trading above the previous day range. The stock was quite bullish, and if you look at the daily chart, the stock has been really bullish and has had a good run up. So this is the place where I told people to enter. Like after this candle, this green candle. So this is where people entered. And so this was late in the day, so not a lot of members participated in this, but still, if you would have participated, let me show you what was the trade like. So if you look at this, this was the stop. So 719 was the stop. This area was the stop, and this is what we were looking at. So the targets were across the day high, so above the day high. Like these are the targets. 725, 6 levels is what you were looking at, and then immediately it spiked up. So here is where it spiked up nicely and with volumes. But then again, it failed. Like this supply was kind of very, very evident here, and then this just took it down. And then this was the place where we were stopped out. So small risk and got stopped out. So this is again It's okay to just lose 2 points, but when you gain 6 points. So that is again, and this was towards the later half of the day. So 2:45, 3 o'clock is where this happened. So this is another trade. Now, Amaraja batteries, as I discussed earlier. So this is what I was actually looking at. So this is where I alerted everyone that once it breaks this area, this 782 area, this is going to pop nicely. So if I just draw a horizontal level right here. So this is the place where I was watching it, and this never gave the entry. So there was constant accumulation, constant buying happening around the lower area of the range. The reason I was trading this is because it was trading above all of this, and it was gapping up some supply here. And just around the 245 area. So this is where it started to bounce up nicely, and then it gave a good continuation move on the upside. So this was Amaraja batteries, and so yeah, these were the trades that we actually took, and this is where we were involved. Now let me show you why IRCTC was on the watch list. Although it actually faded away, this did not give an entry trigger, but this is the place where I was interested in IRCTC. So if you look at this area, this is where I was interested. So this is where I was watching it. So I wanted to see a consolidation, and then a consolidation around the VWAP, and then a bounce up, but it never gave an entry, and it just faded away. And similarly, Bandhan Bank, if you see, same thing happened. It was kind of doing something around here, wanted to see some consolidation here, but the supply was strong enough and did not really move any higher. So this is what we traded on the sniper shots today. So I hope you learned something from these trades, and I hope this helps you understand and analyze trades in a much better manner. Thank you. Good night.